Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to video number 3 of the Magic the Gathering Unsanctioned box set. Check out video 1 to learn what this is, what this box set's about, all that. We went through talking about what the unsets are, and we went through there's 5 decks in here, or 5 half decks, one for each color. We went through the white deck. Check out video 2 where we went over the blue and black decks and talked more about the game. The third and final video here, we will be going over the red and green decks. Alright, so here we have Blast from the Past. These are this card, I love this card, so I'm going to flip to the next card quick, just for the sake of showing this. So this is the new card. It has the new border. They angle out like this. They have the rounded edges, the like neat red, all that stuff. This is what the old Magic cards used to look like. So I love when they reprinted this to show off old abilities. They put the old text in. They went full border. They have all this. They don't have all of this stuff in here. The special foil thing. They didn't update it for any of that. They kept it as close to the original as they possibly could. They even have the tombstone up here for flashback, I believe. So this is a 3-cost red card instinct. It's all these crazy abilities. It's madness for 1, cycling for 2, kicker for 3, flashback for 4, buyback for 5. So Blast from the Past deals 2 damage to any target for 3 magic, which isn't much, but you could Magnus it for 1. You could cycle this card for 2 if you wanted, which lets you draw another card. You can kick it for 3, which says if this spell is kicked, create a 1/1 goblin. You can flashback it for 4, so you could play it from your graveyard for an extra 4 for 4 to do 2 more damage. Or you could buy back and get it again for another 5. So it's crazy. It's all these really old school mechanics and stuff. I mean, some of them have been reprinted and are still used, but they weren't at the time. They didn't stick around. Boom Stacker. This is a Goblin Artificer. Artificer. Blech. Artifact user, because I can't apparently pronounce that word right now. As Boom Stacker enters the battlefield, and whenever it attacks, stack 2 dice on top of it. All dice must be stacked vertically, one on top of the other. Boom Stacker gets +1/+1 for each dice in its stack. Boom Stacker attacks each combat if able. When the stack falls, sacrifice them. So that's kind of cool. You have to keep putting 2 dice on, and for every time you have to put 2 on there, he's always gaining 2/2. Kind of crazy. It's a goblin effect, definitely. Dicing everything. Here we have an Infinity Elemental. 4, 5, 7 cost. This creature has infinite power, so it has an infinite power mark. Has a special line for that. Which is actually his rule text of the infinite art going back. He has 5 defense though. He can die. It's so infinite that its flavor text says it's so infinite that its flavor text says it's so infinite. Repeat. It's kind of a funny way to play around on that. I hope we get the Super Haste card. Pointy Finger of Doom. 4 cost. Artifact. Pay 3 and tap it. Spin Pointy Finger of Doom in the middle of the table so that it rotates completely once. Then destroy the closest permanent the finger points to. Nails and Destruction on point. It's, again, just like a goofy, funny card. Set Draconic Proofreader. A dragon card. A bunch of mice being set on fire. Dragon Bureaucrat. 6 cost. 4/4 flying. When stacked Draconic Proofreader attacks, you may exile a card from your graveyard. If you do, Proofreader deals 4 damage To any target whose name begins with the same letter as exiled card. Pay 1 white mana to delete the first letter of target permanent or player's name till the end of turn. Any target. Oh, that's interesting. So that way, like, my name's Jason. There's not a lot of J cards in Magic, or at least good cards that people are used commonly. But there's probably more than a few A cards that people might use. So you could pay 1 white mana to get rid of the A, and then when he attacks, you could do 4 damage to me if you had a card with an A. Or getting used on various creatures. Here we have Strategy Smategy with the Wheel of Fate, fake-ish card. Different pictures on there. Chicken, an egg, some glasses, a jester chain, another rooster, and a goblin. So roll a 6-sided dice. Strategy Smategy has the indicated effects. 1, do nothing. 2, destroy all artifacts. 3, destroy all lands. That would be terrible. 4, deal 3 damage to each creature and each player. 5, each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards, which is what Wheel of Fortune usually does. Except I think it's for everybody, I think. 6, repeat the process 2 more times. This is a gambling card, which is what lots of the original ones did. Ooh, yet another Vortex. 5 cost, red, enchantment. All creatures have haste. Players play at the top card of their library is revealed. Non-instant, non-sorcery cards on top of a library are on the battlefield under their owner's control in addition to being in the library. It puts the Vortex in Flavortext, which Vortex is in Flavortext. It's very funny and clever. Yes, this is kind of funny. That means all creatures have haste. If you have a creature on the top of your library, it's considered to already be in play. Abstract Iguana Art Lizard. Ooh, good. So we get some art cards in here. Whenever you cast a spell, note the first letter of its artist's name. If that letter wasn't already noted, put a +1 counter, +1/+1 counter on Abstract Art Iguana. Another moving piece by the artist El Gecko. Yeah, so it's actually just a cool drawing in general. Yeah, they had the second set. Unhinged had a bunch of stuff that meant like artists mattered. Artwork, like things in the art. Common Iguana. So this is one of the host creatures. Check out the previous videos to see what they do. We'll kind of run over them again when I run into an augmented creature. But enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Goblin Haberdasher. 2/3 red, or 3 costs, 2/2 menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Other creatures you control wearing hats in their art have menace. An accessory in every sense of the word. Oh, that's funny. Play on words. Can we see what's all in his hat? Some dynamite, snakes, honeycombs, and some bees. There's a dragon. Alright. Moving along. This is a Goblin SWAT force. Or a SWAT team. I'm sorry. Can't read through his swatter. Goblin Warrior. Say Goblin SWAT team. And put a 1/1 counter on Goblin SWAT team unless the opponent swats the table within 5 seconds. Activate this ability only once per turn. They refer to their methods as special SWAT tactics, and no one has lived to correct them. So there was other cards in the second set, which also dealt with having to say certain things or not say certain things, or your opponent catching you saying or not saying things. There's lots of stuff that that had to be engaged in the game, which was kind of neat because sometimes you play these games, you or your opponent or whoever, they kind of zone out during their turn. So it's kind of funny because you're like, oh, if they're not paying attention and they said something or didn't say something, you might get extra things. And that could be definitely one. You could be like, just during your turn, you just say, Goblin SWAT team, and they're not paying attention. Oh, look, now I have a 3-3 or a 4-4 or a 5-5. And they're going to want to start paying attention very quick. Goblin Tutor. 1 cost instinct. Roll a 6-sided die. If you roll a 1, Goblin Tutor has no effect. Otherwise, search your library for the indicated card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. 2, a card named Goblin Tutor. 3, an enchantment. 4, an artifact. 5, a creature. 6, an instant or sorcery. So basically, if you get a 1 or a 2, it might, 1 definitely doesn't do anything. 2, it could or it couldn't, depending on how many you have in your deck. So far, there hasn't been any duplicates in any of these, so like, if you really want to make duplicates and build a great deck, you're probably have to buy multiple of these boxes or go find the original cards. But yeah, so that's kind of, it could be good, could be bad. We have Karnak's Other Thumb, making fun of Karnak's Thumb artifact from a really old set. If you would roll a die, instead roll 2 of those dice and ignore 1 of those results. So that's kind of helpful for all these dice rolling, especially in the red deck here. Karnak was a kind of goblin who'd lose his thumb on a wager and then come right back with double or nothing. We have Paniac, different type of Brainiacs. I've seen different Aniacs in this set. At the beginning of your upkeep, roll a 6-sided die. If Paniac gets plus X plus 0 to the end of your turn, where X is your result, you are about to be struck by a brilliant idea. So he can be anywhere from a 1-3 to a 6-3. Oh, here's our Scissor Lizard. So if you've seen the other 2 videos, which they've all fallen in there. First one we had Paper Tiger. Second one we had Rock Lobster. Now we have the Scissor Lizard. So creatures named Paper Tiger cannot attack or block. Nothing beats the lizard's sheer power. It's just a rock, paper, scissors reference. So that's really cool to have all those in there. 60 Beast, which I wish was 6 costs instead of 4. As 60 Beast enters the battlefield, you secretly put 6 or fewer 1/1 counters on it. Then your opponent guesses a number of counters. If they guessed right, sacrifice 60 Beast after it enters the battlefield. Is it 6? So it's kind of neat because you could get anywhere from a 1/1 to a 6/6 creature depending on what you guess and if your opponent guessed right. I'm going to guess most people are probably going to pick 4 to 6, somewhere in there. Make it worth the cost. Super Duper Death Ray. 3 cost instant. Trample. This spell can deal excess damage to its target's controller. Super Duper Death Ray deals 4 damage to target creature. So it seems like a card that could probably be in any set. But I don't think any instant has ever had Trample before. Just a straight up 4 damage, which is definitely nice. But if you hit like a 1/1 creature, you can do 3 right to the controller. There's Underdome, which you've seen before in the other sets, and all those. So, I don't know why, but we didn't get any other augmented creatures for the red set. Alright, let's check out green. Last color. Yeah, it's sort of neat with this. Like, you can buy it, play it, you get all these neat uncards. So the land, Underdome. The other thing that's kind of a bummer, like I said, is there's no duplicates. At least when they had the packs, you had the option of going out, you could keep buying packs, trying to get duplicates, you could make a full deck. Here you're kind of stuck with just what you have, because it's like a $50-some. I don't usually say prices of sets of games when I'm talking about videos, because they always fluctuate, but currently right now, because it just came out this couple months, early 2020, it is between depending on where you can buy it, it's probably $50 to $55. Which isn't a bad price for a bunch of Magic cards. So it's nothing against that. But if you want 2 copies of every one of these cards, it's going to cost you $100. For what is really the equivalent of what 30, well, because you have all the land, but it's like two and a half decks, maybe 3 decks total if you include all the lands. So maybe like total of 3 decks, you see like $30-$40. You know, I'd rather, that's when I'm going to spend $100 on Magic cards. I'd rather just go and buy a full booster box of a different set rather than buying 2 sets that I can't use in tournament or most games. Because I'm sure casual players might be like, oh, we'll play the unset if you know you're playing the unset, but you're probably not going to break it out all the time. Anyhow, rant over on that. Let's get to the green deck. We have Bingo. It's flies around. He has numbers on him. Trample. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a chip counter on its converted mana cost. When Bingo gets +9/+9 for each set of 3 numbers in a row of chip counters. So if someone played a 0 cost, or a 3 cost, or a 4 cost, just to put a little marker on him. And then he gets +9/+9 every time you get bingo, which is like 3 across. So if you blacked out this board, this would be a pretty powerful guy. There was a farmer. He had a hound. Bingo. Alright, we have another old school artwork card like we had in the with the red one. You can tell the difference on the borders and everything. So this is Old Fogey. Where the other set was an instant and it did all this stuff like magic or sorcery type cards could do. This does all the creature effects. You see a time machine back there. So you have a summoned dinosaur, and they use dinosaur because at the time dinosaurs weren't around. I can't remember the name of the set. One of the new X-Wing. One of the newer sets brought dinosaurs back big time, and they're in like every set now. But they used to not be around. So this guy's phasing, cumulative upkeep 1, echo, fading 3, bands with other dinosaurs, protection from homerids, which are like crabs, snow-covered planeswalk, flanking, rampage 2. These kids today with their collector numbers and their newfangled tap symbols, 20 Black Lotuses and 20 Plague Rats. Now that's real magic. Phasing, basically every turn he disappears and comes back. He has cumulative upkeep, so every turn you have to pay 1 more to keep him into play. Echo, every upkeep you have to pay his cost a second time. Fading, he has 3 counters on him. At the end of each turn, you get rid of one of those counters. When the third one's gone, he's dead. So he's only going to last for 3 turns anyhow. Bands with other dinosaurs means you can combine him with other dinosaurs to attack as one unit. Protection from homerids means you can't be hurt by them. Snow-covered planeswalk means he cannot be blocked if your opponent has snow-covered plains. It's very specific. Flanking your opponent gets -1/-1 if they don't have flanking. If I remember correct, in Rampage 2, he gets +2/+2 every time he attacks. I don't know if I remember all of them correctly, or the last 2 for sure. I'm not sure how phasing works with cumulative upkeep, echo, and fading. But I'm not going to worry about getting into it. You want to figure it out, go look at the Magic website together. I'm sure they explain all of it. Here we have a new legendary creature, Pippa, the Duchess of Dice. You got little dice minions here. Let's see if there's any other interesting things in her art, which has dice on her dress, dice shoulders, a dice helmet, a die on the end of her thing, just dice everywhere. All the legendary creatures in this game and the Planeswalker are all brand new cards. So we have pay 2 and 1 force to roll a 6-sided die. It becomes a green die creature token with its power and toughness equal to its result, or pay 2 colors and 1 blue to reroll any die. Activate this ability at any time it makes sense. When it comes to following orders, it was do and die. Alright. Squirrel Farms. We need some more squirrels for our decks. Pay 3 enchantment. You can pay 2 to reveal a card from your hand covering the artist's credit. Target opponent guesses the artist. If they guess wrong, create a 1/1 green squirrel token. And the ignorant shall fall to the squirrel. Chip 254. Yes, how many people know what artist did what cards? So that could be very funny and useful. We have a Surging General crossed out Surging Commander, legendary creature, Wombat Bat Chameleon. Today I feel it has a bunch of... Oh! Drop the card. Alright, sorry about that. Whenever you augment or enchant or mutate a creature, you control draw a card. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Likes augmentation, fluffy animals, and creative templating. So that's kind of neat. It worked well if you're doing a lot of augmenting. Here we have Timmy the Power Gamer in the second video. With the black, we went through the combo, not black, with the blue. We went through Jimmy, the combo gamer. Here's Timmy, the power gamer. So he's the guy that wants the biggest, baddest creatures. You pay 4, you may put a target creature from your hand into the battlefield. So Jimmy is the guy that likes to have, I want to build contraptions. I want to have strings of combos. I want specific cards and stuff. Timmy is, I want the biggest, best cards. I don't care about trying to play 10 cards in a row to make it. I just want the best. They're going to play the 10-10 creatures. 12 called the Phyrexians. Stuff like that. What is weird, though, is because they have Timmy in the set and Jimmy in the set, but they didn't put in Spike. Spike is the collector gamer. So I guess they could have maybe considered that the one card to let you get a pack from outside the set, but I don't remember. They did make one for him, for Spike, so it's kind of just weird they didn't put it in here. Here's a split card. The White Who. Target player gains X life. What? Destroy target artifact. When? Counter target spell. Creature spell. Where? Destroy target land. And why? Destroy target enchantment. So just poking kind of fun at the split cards by making it a 5 split. All very different costs. That's just neat. We have a bronze calendar. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. You must speak in voice other than your normal voice. When you speak in your normal voice, sacrifice bronze calendar. Every page holds a month, every day a numeral. Yeah. Again, one of those goofy cards. Elvish Impersonators. Elves. As Elvish Impersonators enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided die twice. Its base power becomes their first result, and its base toughness becomes the second of. Just again, another dice rolling one. The entirely normal chair, which is a bear trap in there. During your turn, if the entirely normal armchair is in your hand, you may hide it on the battlefield. Pay 0, return entirely normal armchair to the owner's hand. Only an opponent may activate this ability, and only if they see entirely normal armchair. Or you can pay 2 to sacrifice this to destroy target attacking creature. We have a chicken, again, the free range chicken. A bird. Pay 2. Roll two six-sided dice. If both results are the same, free range chicken has plus X till the end of the turn, where X is the result. If the total of those results equal to any other total you have rolled this turn for this ability, sacrifice it. For example, if you roll 2 3s, it gets plus 3. If you roll a 4 and a 2, for that ability later, sacrifice it. The total of... Oh, okay. So if it's 6. Or what to say. I get it. So basically, if you roll and you get total of 6, and you roll some other combination gets you another total of 6, you lose them. So you just... As long as you can keep rolling different numbers, you can keep beefing them up. Here we have Growth Spurt. It kind of goes with the white card from the first one, is breaking the artwork. Roll a 6-sided die. Target creature gains plus X to the end of your turn, where X is the result. So you add this with the white card from the first video. That negates the end of turn effects. You can make a giant creature, possibly, and keep them around. More to love. Friendly nature seeking bunny-esque SEM seeks SCF, looking for a huge commitment. And then something seeks an ACOG prince. Alright, here we have some of these. I didn't get to show this off because I didn't have any in the other one. We have an augmented creature. Half squirrel, half something. So it says, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, you'll do something. You can pay 1 to augment. Reveal this card from your hand. Combine it with a target host. Augment only as a sorcerer. So... set these cards off to the side. We have a Mother Kangaroo, which is a 5-cost, 1/1 creature, which is not very good. But when it enters the battlefield, you roll a 6-sided die. Put a number of 1/1 counters on this creature equal to the result. So it could end up being a 2/2, could end up being a 7/7. And look, there's a little squirrel there. We could work with one squirrel card. So now, if you augmented the squirrel onto your kangaroo, so if your kangaroo's in play, you paid 1 to augment your squirrel, it's going to give you -1, -0 to whatever your dice result was. Then also, you have a half squirrel, half kangaroo. It says, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, you roll a 6-sided die. Put a number of counters on this creature equal to that result. So then now, every time you play a non-token creature, you can roll a die and add even more to him. Such other augmented creatures and host creatures were kind of cool. Here we have Slaying Mantis. He's a luchador wrestler. 7 cost, 6/6. Just a second. As long as the spell is on the stack, players can't move cards on the battlefield. Slaying Mantis enters the battlefield by being thrown from a distance of at least 3 feet. Slaying Mantis enters the battlefield. It fights each creature an opponent controls that it touched as it entered. One of them goofy cards, you have to chuck it across the table. And that's why it says you can't move them. So someone can't be like, oh, well, let me rearrange and do this and that. You know, it hits wherever it hits. Spirit of the Season. 3 cost, 3/3 Treefolk Spirit. When Spirit of the Season enters the battlefield, it gains haste if it's summer, a +1/+1 counter if it's autumn, 5 life if it's winter. If it's spring, check your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Summoned for all the wrong seasons. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. It's different. You even see as the 4 different seasons on there. So you got summer over here, autumn, winter, and spring. Spring has the flowers on them. Alright, and then the very last card we have in here is a Wild Crocodile, 2/1/1, enters the battlefield. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So if you add this with that squirrel, he would end up getting -1 plus -1 -0, so he'd be a 0/1 creature. But every time you play another creature, you get to look for a land. So that is Magic the Gathering, the Unsanctioned box set. Yeah, if you enjoy Magic the Gathering and you like something a little goofy, check out any of the unsets you can. This is a neat way for them to create a few new cards without having to create a full set, as well as letting people get in on some of the older cards. The only downside is, like I said, really, if you want multiples of these cards, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Probably not as much money as, you know, if you had to go and buy packs by themselves, but you might be able to check your local game store, and there might be people that bought packs that have at least the commons and uncommons for fairly cheap. Plus, you can get a lot of other different ones if you enjoy them. Definitely check out Magic the Gathering's website with the Gatherer if you want to see what some of the other uncards and undecks were. Catch you guys later. Bye.